let's chat about 4 reasons why parents should be affectionate towards each other in front of their children. So let's talk about 4 reasons to be affectionate towards your spouse in front of your children. Reason number 1 is it creates an atmosphere of happiness and health within the home. Kids need to know that mommy and daddy love each other, and when they see that, they feel secure. Conversely, the opposite is true. When mom and dad are fighting, when mom and dad are bickering, when they're not kind towards each other, when they're cold towards each other, the kids, they pick up on this. And it creates a real sense of insecurity within their lives. And so there's a ton of research to show that when mom and dad aren't getting along, it's not healthy for the development of the family. So reason number 1, it creates a healthy, happy home when mom and dad show each other that they love each other in front of their kids. Reason number 2 is that it actually helps the marriage relationship. Go figure, when the spouses are affectionate towards each other, who would have thought that it would actually improve the relationship? But it does. You see, marriage is about love, and it's more than simply intellectually communicating our love to our spouse. I want my wife to feel she's loved. Now, there's going to be points in our relationship where she might not feel like I love her, but she'll just have to make a step of faith to know that I love her. But I hope there's more times than not where she feels nurtured. And I hope that my kids witness this part of our relationship as well. Think about how God is calling me as a husband to love my wife. I think of Ephesians 5:25, where it describes how husbands are to love their wife like Christ loves the church. And how did Christ love the church? He laid down his life for his bride, the church. And as a husband, what am I to do? I see it as my duty and as my privilege to lay down my life for my wife. Through the things that I do in service, through my time that I give her, through touch, through gifts. But this is my duty and my privilege. Reason number 3 to be affectionate towards your spouse in front of your kids is that it sets an example for your children to follow. When our children see us interacting with our spouse in loving and kind deeds and in words and in physical touch, it sets up a standard that they look for in their future spouse. So if there's a husband watching this today, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want your son to be the kind of husband you're being to your spouse right now? Think about how you treat her. How do you speak to her? How do you serve her? Is this how you want your son to act when he gets married to his future wife? And husbands, think about your daughter and how she sees you. Do you want your daughter to marry the kind of man that you are? Because she will. You set the standard of love that she's going to thirst for in life. And reason number 4, it sets priorities. You know, in the busyness of life, it's really easy to get distracted from what God is calling us to. You see, Satan doesn't need to make us bad. He only needs to make us busy. And in our busyness, we get distracted and we end up majoring our life in very minor things. And we miss the major thing, which is God and His will. When we wake up in the morning, the most important question to ask is, what does God want of me? And in marriage, I find that my life has got a lot more simple, because when I ask that question, the answer is to love my wife to life. That's the number 1 priority. In other words, God's will for spouses is each other. That's how we grow in holiness. That's how we grow in virtue, is by dying to self and loving the other. And loving each other in front of our children reminds us of the priority of the other. One of the greatest gifts that parents can give their children is a loving relationship with their spouse. Their children will see the most significant people in their life loving each other. They see the will of God being executed before their eyes and see the grace of the sacrament of matrimony in movement. So what are the 4 reasons parents should be affectionate towards each other in front of their children? Number 1, it makes for a healthy and happy family life. Number 2, it helps strengthen the marriage relationship. Number 3, it sets an example for children to follow. Number 4, it sets priorities. Thanks everyone for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful in living the Catholic life. See you next time.